So this is absolutely crazy. So I'm sitting here and all of a sudden, again, I am greeted by Olive Bar Brown. I didn't even know that there was an Olive Bar Brown around here, and it's one heck of a shot. Okay, this is never a surprise, but I'm the only one in the gym. And listen, that's totally fine. I'm happy about that. It's not a monster gym. It's actually well appointed. Got my towels, wet, dry, apples. Check out the cool fridge. In the cool fridge, we've got more cold towels, and I've got some water. I'll be pounding those in a second because of the time difference. But yeah, this is kind of what I do. You're used to this in my travel videos. I make sure that even the first day, the first full day when I'm here, I get a workout in. And the reason I do that is because I need to get back to normalcy. Hello. Nice, obvious t-shirt, David. And part of normalcy is making sure that I work out, do something physical, because I know I'll be eating, imbibing, and it just sets the tone for the day. Okay, workout is done. I'm going to grab some coffee, grab some breakfast, grab some pants, and grab my wife. And then we are going to be heading to more exploration, and it just happens to be James Bond oriented. I think you're gonna recognize the place from a certain Timmy D movie. Let's go check out Gibraltar.
Originally, the people that migrated to this area of Gibraltar were from Catalonia in Spain and Genoa, and hence the houses, the colourful houses.
Beautiful.
Little Genoa. He's going to go around.
And we've got Giancarlo as our tour guide for the day. And he lived here all his life,
All
right?
my life.
My goodness. Now you said much of this Gibraltar is military base?
It used to be a lot more military than what it is now. There's still a military presence. Obviously, the UK is not going to give up Gibraltar anytime soon that we know of. Neither do the people of Gibraltar want the UK to give it up.
Right.
And give it back to Spain, because there was the history of Gibraltar. 1704, Gibraltar is taken over by the British and the Dutch.
Right.
That's 1704. Then in 1713 there is a treaty signed, the Treaty of Utrecht. That is where Gibraltar is given to Britain in perpetuity, basically forever. Now, in that treaty, there's a clause that says that if Gibraltar decolonizes from the UK, it has to go back to the hands of Spain. That's where we don't want to go.
Right.
We want to be independent if we could. But, you know, that is the treaty that was signed over 300 years ago, and that's where we're stuck. Into that, you bring Brexit and every other thing that happened in the last few years. You can imagine the problems. Why it's so complex to get everybody to be happy, you know? So
right.
That is the...
you adopt all the issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is why it's so complicated when it comes to politics and when it comes to sovereignty and territories and blah, blah, blah.
And much of the James Bond locations, they're in the military side of...
Mostly,
Bond.
yes. I mean, the chase with the two Land Rovers, it starts from the military point and it goes all the way down. Parts of it, there's some construction going on, but we'll get part of the road that we're going on.
And I think there's some steps that he runs down as well from the tower.
That might be the
is it the tower?
The Moorish castle, the Tower of Homage, maybe, or maybe it's down the Charles V wall. We'll find out.
Yes.
And that goes down to a pontoon down here to a pier. And that would be the escape route that I was telling you about.
From Winston Churchill.
Yeah. See, the entrance would have been one of these two. And it goes down to a pontoon and then out into the sea.
This is like a legitimate tunnel.
Most of these tunnels are World War II tunnels, the majority of them. The reason being that they were digging out stone from inside the rock to be able to make the landing strip.
Oh my gosh. So our amazing tour guide has brought us actually to our first Bond location. But a lot of people don't know this is a Bond location because they think the Living Daylights, it's got to be the Timothy Dalton Island. There is something else that was done here at Europa, at this lighthouse. They shot out there into the water. And by the way, behind me, you can actually see Morocco. So Morocco right there, you know that from obviously Spectre, but more importantly, in the water itself, You Only Live Twice saw the burial of Sean Connery's James Bond. That's where they did the burial scene from the movie. So you never know where Bond is going to pop up, making this exactly what I said, Bond Spain. Here we have the Pillars of Hercules. Let's go take a look.
So the guy who came here with the troops, his name was Tariq ibn Zayed. Here, 711.
So we're going to go and visit St. Michael's Cave now. The cave was discovered in the 1st century by a Roman geographer called Pomponius Mela. The cave was discovered in the 1st century. Like I said, they knew that he knew that he was the first one in because it was a white cave. The cave is white and normally it turns grey with carbon dioxide of people breathing inside, or because of fires and so on. Because the cave was white, he knew he was the first one there. During the Second World War, the same cave was prepared as an auxiliary hospital. We were expecting a big operation called Operation Felix, where the Nazis would have made it all the way down here into Gibraltar. So it was made into an auxiliary hospital. Fortunately, the hospital never got used, but it was prepared as one. Nowadays, we use the cave as a tourist attraction, and we also use it as an auditorium. So we have concerts and shows and weddings inside. There's lots going on inside the cave. It's a dead cave now, but it's pretty big. You don't have to be worried about being claustrophobic inside or anything because it's a pretty big cave.
Amazing. Okay, we're heading into St. Michael's Cave, which, as you heard, has a lot of history. So my wife is not crazy about monkeys, but I love monkeys.
I tell you what, the monkeys, there's two things that we need to remember. One of them is we're going into their territory.
Yes.
So they are the boss. Secondly, the more nervous you are, the worse it gets.
Oh no.
Because
yeah.
they will feel that same
They'll
as horses
sense it.
and dogs and all that.
Yes.
So if we are relaxed around them, we just do our own thing, don't get involved with them.
So
we
relaxed.
have a problem.
Yes.
Speak no evil. Speak no evil.
Yeah, this is like how to treat them well. You have to respect them. That's all.
If they get near me, I'm gonna drop kick it.
All right, this is the Skywalk, and Mark Hamill actually came here to open it up. That's the Skywalker. So you've got the sheer drop-in glass. It's very much like Switzerland. And amazing views. little bit higher up, but it looks exactly like it does in the film. They haven't changed them to date.
Keep away from my people, okay?
Tell me what.
Yeah.
Oh, these are the things I do for 007 GV. I flew all the way to the Living Daylights. I've met a new friend, and he's decided to take a look at my brand new membership card. I think he likes it. Oh, look at the little one. All right, so there's about 200 of these apes, Barbican apes here on Gibraltar. Just met one of these. He's now famous, and this is why you have to remember they're creatures of the wild. All right, they will do things, so you've got to be careful. If they jump on you, that's fine, but you're not supposed to instigate it. So we did not instigate it. It just kind of jumped on me, and now it's famous for doing that 007 GB thing with, of course, the and hon, what do you think of the monkeys so far?
As long as they keep their distance, I'm alright.
You're okay?
Just they gotta keep their distance.
Not as bad as you expected, though.
I'm keeping an eye out for them.
Yeah, I would too. All right, but they're beautiful creatures, and they are in the wild, so it's just something to remember.
Chase from the Living Daylights starts around there.
Ah, okay.
There's a military point up there, and they chase all the way down here and down where we are going to go now.
Ah, very cool.
Okay. So this is the Living Daylights road, sort of thing. Down here. And this is where he's on the roof.
Ah, this is it.
And he gets a knife out and cuts in through the roof to try and get the guy.
Oh my gosh, it's so thin. That had to be crazy, and they were driving so quickly too.
The only thing is that these barriers on the side, they were painted in blue in that place. They were more sort of military side.
Ah, is that right? Are you a fan of that movie?
I've seen it. Obviously, when Gibraltar comes out in any movie, you know.
Yeah, you gotta see it.
The hometown, you know. But yeah, I'm a big Bond. Most of the older ones as well, the older films, the old James Bond films.
Right.
They go past this little sort of bridge thing.
Oh, right.
It's a staircase, actually. It's the Charles V wall. It goes from...
This is where there was like a military fence and they break through it or
they
something?
They break through it and then they go past this part.
Yes. And of course, there's the same stunt monkey in the film. Still here after all these years. Oh, they're there.
Do the monkeys pretty much stay over this area, or are they all over the peninsula?
Against that wall there, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's really where it is? Okay.
I think so.
Amazing.
This is another big monkey family. The one at the top is big family. There's another big one here, and then there's about another 3 or 4 families scattered around the rock.
Do they have territories then, or?
Yeah, they're very territorial. The only time you will see monkeys from one family mixing with another family will be a female, because she will instinctively know that the genetics are crossing. She needs to move to another family to be able to reproduce. Will become pregnant in the other family and come to the original family to break the genetics there. For 4 years, Spain, with the help of France, if I'm not mistaken, were trying to take the rock back from the British. The British were struggling. A lot of the troops were still within the US because of the War of Independence, 1776. They hadn't made their way back into Europe, so they were struggling. One of the guys came up with the idea of creating a tunnel, and from the tunnel have the cannons pointing outwards towards Spain. Sergeant Major Ince. So they got the tunnel done, they had the cannons pointing outwards, and it played a crucial role in Gibraltar remaining British to this day. Sergeant Major Ince got, I think it was a horse and some land because of coming up with the idea. So it played a crucial role. Gibraltar remained British after this, and there was a famous tunnel because what I was telling you earlier about General Sikorsky, they saw the crash from inside this tunnel as well during the Second World War. So it was
have at Gibraltar. My gosh, absolutely amazing. And you know, one of the cool things is, I've always said this about The Living Daylights, it's a film that has grown in appreciation. Take the seriousness of Daniel Craig, the fun of Roger Moore, the coolness of Sean Connery, put it in a film. And you have The Living Daylights, you have Timothy Dalton's amazing portrayal as James Bond, and then you put it into a place like this as a pre-title sequence. I mean, you can really see why Gibraltar was chosen, and aptly so. Look at, you can see kind of the rock in the back of me. Well, there in order to school, but what a fun place to visit, and doesn't look really that different than it did way back when. The other thing I'll mention that I've really liked about The Living Daylights and why this was a special location to go to for a Bond fan is this represents Bond on a mission and multiple MI6 agents. And I've always said that my fantasy movie for James Bond have been put more MI6 agents out in the field with Bond, please. And this represents that. So yes, yes, and yes. Looks like it's time to go to our next stop in the world of James Bond and Spain. Can you guess where that is? Well, I'll give you a hint. I could learn to like it if I had the time. Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to be up on the latest from the Bond experience, just click on this subscribe and subscribe to our channel. You're going to get all the latest and greatest information, plus some exclusive content. And by the way, speaking of content, here's something especially for you, just because we know you. Talk to you soon.